Hello to whoever might be watching. My name's Mike. I'm making a channel to follow my skate progression. Grew up skateboarding, started when I was about 12 years old, skated for about a decade. Got pretty good. I would say I was about intermediate. I wasn't, going pro or anything, but felt pretty decent about my abilities. Had a lot of friends that were really, really good. I was probably the worst out of my friend group, but still was super happy with my skill set. Had a lot of good technical tricks, was just kind of scared to take them down, anything really impressive. Basically stopped skating for 9 years. You get married, you start a career, go into business ventures, have a baby. I've done all those things, and you can probably hear my kid in the background yelling at me to look at her while swinging. And that's exactly, it's what life is all about. It's look at your swinging, yeah. Is that right? And so, yeah, life gets to you, and you get older, you stop doing the things that you like sometimes. And my niece, Evelyn, got into skating very recently. She was asking me to teach her about 2 months ago. So taught her a couple of the basics, just a little bit of riding around, tic-tacs, ollies, stuff like that. And as we did so, I realized how much I like skateboarding again, got me back into it as well. For the last 2 months, I've been regaining tricks that I used to have. And the funnest part is probably just the quickness of the progression. So, and every new trick that you learn, to me, it just reminds me how much I love doing it. I feel like almost like that was one of the pleasures that God allowed me to have was skateboarding. One of the things that was put here for my enjoyment on this earth by God was skateboarding. So, anyway, got a lot of tricks back. I was still able to ollie as soon as I stepped on the board. They just looked low and sloppy in the beginning. I'm 31 going on 32. I'll be 32 in like 3 weeks. So getting back into it in my 30s, although I'm older, my knees aren't quite the same and ankles aren't quite the same. And, falling is a little bit scarier now because it hurts a little bit more. It takes a little bit longer to recover. I think there are also a lot of benefits to being older when starting skateboarding. And so I just kind of wanted to make a channel to highlight that. Just for an example, when you're older, you understand training regimens better. I go to the gym and I understand training regimens for that. I understand how to progress quickly in things, how to practice things more methodically now. So I'm excited to see how much better I progress. And I'm also excited to see how well I can train myself to break old habits that I fell into when I was a teenager. So, I had certain tricks that I really clung to, but my form wasn't always the best. Kickflips specifically, I'd never really learned how to do consistently because my kickflips just sucked. So I skipped them and I moved on to varial kickflips and tray flips, which might sound a little bit strange, but a lot of people that I've talked to are in that same boat. So one of my things I'm learning right now is kickflips, how to do them consistently, how to do them where they come up to your feet and you catch it versus it just kind of rolling on the ground the way that mine typically do. I'm learning how to commit to tricks at faster speeds. I'm learning how to just do things properly so that they come out cleaner and that it makes it easier to learn the next trick. And I've been super happy with my progression over the last 2 months. I've got my ollies in much better shape. I can board slide again, 50-50 again. I can drop in on mini ramps, do a rock to fakie, varial kickflip, tray flip. I can kind of kickflip a little bit better now, but I'll show a finished product in an update video one of these days when I have it really down. But I'm really excited to see what I can do with more methodical training and how much fun I can have once I get back to the basics and sort of work on doing tricks the right way versus ways that I'm comfortable. And I guess I can elaborate on that in a later video, just so I don't take super duper long here. I'll be completely real with anybody that's watching this. I'm not planning on uploading super duper consistently, maybe every 2 weeks, something like that. I might do some short form content too. This is more for me than anybody else, just to kind of document my journey. I don't have any footage from when I was a teenager, so I think it'll be kind of cool to have some footage now that I'm a little older, so that, you know, it's not just me telling stories about tricks that I could do back in the day. It's, you know, I've got some real footage that I can look back on fondly. Yeah, that's kind of the reason I'm making the channel. If nobody ever watches it, I'm totally fine with that. If lots of people watch it and love it, I'm fine with that too. I'm just really excited to be back into skateboarding, and I'm excited that God has allowed me to have a body that's, you know, still in really good shape and able to handle skateboarding and the impact and all that good stuff. And I'm excited for all the resources that are available now too, as far as like trick tips and stuff. Like Skate IQ is a channel that I've been watching the last 2 months. That was not around when I was a kid. You know, YouTube was still Chocolate Rain and Talking Oranges and stuff like that, back when I was getting into skating. And so, you know, we were just kind of figuring it out on our own, you know, learning from other skaters that had figured out how to do tricks, you know, their own way, and everyone's giving you different ways to do a trick, with conflicting views. But there are channels now that really focus on methodically teaching people skateboarding and giving really actionable tips and, you know, real world ways that you can practice and progress quickly. So really excited about it. Anyway, that's it. That's what I'm excited about. That's why I'm making the channel, and I'm excited to see how quickly and how far I progress this time around in my 30s. So anyway, peace.